Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 9 of the Country Chat podcast with myself, Sandra Ganley. I'm changing things up a little bit today, and I'm delighted to have one of my very, very good friends here in front of me, Miss Shauna McStravock. And Shauna was the first ever guest on the Country Chat podcast back it was around April 2020. It was a COVID project that started, and I got Shauna roped in on the very first episode. So I'm delighted to have her back now for a little catch up. Shauna, how's things?
Hi Sandra, it's great to be back and thanks for having me again. I can't believe it's like nearly a year since we last spoke on your podcast, but it's great to get back onto it again. So thanks for inviting me.
No problem. And it's actually funny because we have developed a great friendship. So it's actually funny to be actually talking on a professional level because most weeks we'd be on the phone nattering away and I've been up at you and you'd be down here at me. So yeah, I suppose a positive of COVID for us has been a great friendship has developed.
Absolutely, that's it. And I suppose it's brought us closer together because COVID, I think, has affected everyone. Like we've missed seeing everyone, especially myself as a performer and singer, being at the gigs and everything. I've missed everyone so much. So I'm really hoping that, we'll get back out, Sandra, and get to see everyone again soon. And obviously myself and you will hopefully get to a few dances as well. You never know.
We will. There's no stopping us now at this stage.
No.
So I suppose going back, last time we talked to you, it was, as we said, April 2020. Things had just started happening with COVID. Nobody was working, all that kind of thing. But after that episode, things actually picked up for you, and you had a really great success during the summer with your single that you brought out, "Love Shine a Light." Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, I have to say, during the first start of the pandemic, I suppose all the artists found it very difficult. All our gigs were cancelled. I was missing the gigs and everything. And seeing how obviously COVID had affected so many people and families, and both my mum actually works in the front line. So I suppose seeing how difficult times were, and your sister, obviously, Sandra's a nurse as well, getting to hear from people how difficult it was working in the conditions through COVID. I suppose as a performer, I just wanted to give something back. So I just basically thought I'd love to record a single, which hopefully would shed some light on the difficult time everyone was going through. And "Love Shine a Light" was a song I always loved. A Eurovision Song Contest winner song way back. I always loved it, and I thought it would be a great song to release. And yeah, it went brilliant for me, thank God.
It was a great summer hit. I think the timing of it was brilliant, obviously with COVID. But for those of you listening, you can go and check it out after you listen to this podcast. But it's such an upbeat kind of song. It was all positive. The video was nice and happy, and it's just the timing of it was great, and it went really well for you as well. You have so many hits on it on Facebook. It's still, people are still commenting and sharing it still a year later.
Like it's unbelievable. Even radio, like I get Snapchats and I get people on Facebook and Instagram, which is brilliant. They'd be tagging me when they hear it, or people are obviously still downloading it. And it was to raise funds for the NHS and the HSE, so everyone really did get behind me, which I was so thankful for. And obviously the video itself, never mind hits, I got it to number 1 in the Irish country music charts, so that was brilliant. Absolutely delighted with that. Everyone got behind it, but even the people that helped with making the video, like yourself, Sandra, Javen Juniors, all my little dancers that you got them involved. People like Mickey Hart, the GAH road manager from my part of the world, Marty Morris, the Taoiseach at the time, Leo, got involved. Just so many people in frontline staff as well got behind the video. So I was so happy that it went so well. And again, a big thank you to everyone who's still downloading it and requesting it on the radio as well. It means a lot.
Oh no, it was absolutely brilliant. So absolutely, those of you that are listening, go and listen to the song, download it if you haven't already, and check out the video. So yeah, that was the summer, and I suppose then, since then, you've had a few gigs here and there. You were doing some Facebook Lives, and I know there's 1 or 2 other events you've been involved with. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I suppose we all have been missing the gig much and missing everyone. So I got involved in a few Facebook Lives. I know I done one for your celebration as well, for the Jive and Juniors anniversary, which was quite recently, Sandra. I love being involved in that. A great friend of mine, Porrick Mohan from All Folked Up. Myself and Porrick done a couple of Facebook Lives as well, which was great. And also concerts on the couch with the fantastic Celtic Storm Band and Gary Gamble, and many other artists as well joined me for a few of the concerts on the couch, which was great to get the opportunity to sing again with a live band, and also to meet some of the other artists that I haven't seen for quite a while. So yeah, I've been doing different things like that, which obviously has kept me going. And I've enjoyed it. So yeah, please God, we'll get lots more to come and hopefully get back out on stage again.
I know, hopefully. But look, you've been keeping things ticking over between the single and between them few little gigs that you've been doing, be it on Facebook or on the couch with them, that sort of thing. And I suppose going forward now, you have gigs for the summer. I suppose it's just a question whether or not they will happen. A good friend of ours, Phil Mack, you are involved in his first weekend back. So hopefully that will go ahead for you.
Yeah, I'm so delighted to be involved. We're actually going to Nottingham, to Thorsby Hall in the July the 16th, the weekend. We're going over, and I have to say it's always a great weekend to be part of it. Never mind seeing everyone, but just I co-host with Phil at a lot of his events along with Natasha McGee, and getting to perform and just to get on a flight, I suppose, again and get across the water, it'd just be great. So please God, hopefully it'll go ahead. So yeah, that's in the summertime. Plus I have a few more other gigs in the diary, which I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully a few festivals as well in the summer, which hopefully will come back. Please God. So yeah, as I said, just really looking forward to Sandra hopefully getting back to it all soon.
Absolutely. And one other thing we forgot was Shauna's Country, which has your TV show, which has been on every week. That has not stopped. The gigs and the live singing might have, but Shauna's Country has not stopped, and you're recording every week for that, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I'm so happy the show. Like, I'm doing it 5 years now or more. And Shauna's Country every Saturday night in Spotlight TV. Everyone's been great that has been tuning in, and I've got a loyal fan base. A big hello to anyone who's watching from Scotland. I know I have a lot of friends and fans over there, and obviously England as well, and Ireland here. A lot of people watch it. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who tunes in on a Saturday night to the show.
I even noticed though on your Facebook and your social media the response between you and your fans. I mean, there's people from all over commented on your stuff. Even if I'm just scrolling and I see something you've popped up, like people are constantly commenting and liking and how are you and looking great, Shauna, and all this. Like it's mad when you actually think into it. And I suppose especially when you're not actively gigging like any other singer at the moment, like, but you still have that fan base behind you and they're still rooting for you and pushing for you and telling you all the good stuff, like.
Okay, I have to say, Sandra, it's absolutely brilliant for the support I have. I'm so thankful, so many people are so thoughtful, and even to send me little messages every other day, how you keeping, and we miss you, we miss seeing you perform. It just means a lot. And I have to say, I was very blessed to have the TV show that, throughout the pandemic, I've still been able to continue to record for it and film it. And I have a great fan base behind me. So thanks, everyone.
There you go. I tell you, you definitely are one of the lucky ones, because my show on Spotlight TV has not been filmed since, I'm gonna say, definitely a year and a half. It's all re-records, unfortunately. I can't get up to my production company; they're not filming. So you are definitely one of the lucky ones. So I'm tuning in.
Sandra, you'll have to come and do one with me, maybe co-host one of Shauna's Country.
I will. I'll just butt into yours. I'll butt into Shauna's Country.
You'll have to come along, but never mind me. I know that you probably are going to scream at me for this, but you're always interviewing everyone else. No one gets to ask Sandra Ganley how she's keeping, or how he's driving juniors and everything that's going on, because you do a lot more than just what people think behind the scenes, So how's things been going for you, Sandra?
Well, it's nice to be asked, I suppose. And like, I suppose there's never one thing with me. It's always a bit of this and a bit of that. And I suppose, for those that might know me from just the podcast, I suppose I do a lot more stuff. And I know Shauna already mentioned Driving Juniors. And we've had Shauna work with Driving Juniors for, it'll be 3 years this year, I think, is it?
3 years, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 2 or 3 years this year. So yeah, Driving Juniors is my dance school. 5 years in business now. We had our 5th anniversary, like Shauna mentioned, there at Easter, and we had our virtual gig. Shauna got stuck in for that. So yeah, Driving Juniors is my baby, and all my babies, all my kids, and thankfully, last week was our first week back dancing outdoors, so it's better than nothing. But we're back outdoors, which is why, Shauna, you did not hear from me for the last 2 weeks. You have not heard from me because I've been.
Yeah, I thought you'd fell out with me. I was wondering what was going on. I thought I haven't heard from her, but yeah, no, I know you're always busy. I know you've a lot of things going on, especially with Driving Juniors and everything else, with the teaching. So, but I'm so delighted that you are back again, in a sense, doing something, even if it is outdoors. It's great.
Yeah, thank God. Now, I'll be honest, I have found it hard because it's been 6-7 months since I've taught in person. And just getting back into the swing of it, and even it's so hard not to teach driving. I'm so, driving juniors, the hint is in the name. It's been hard not to do the driving. Obviously we can't be holding hands, but everything else works. They know all their line dances, and we can do our waltzing and our foxtrot and our quick step without holding hands. But by God, do I miss the drive, and I'm getting a bit worried I might forget how to drive when it actually comes back to it.
I might have to come to you myself for a few tips. It's been a while since I've had a dance around the dance floor, but yeah, I hope I haven't lost my touch. But I'd say there's a lot of people that will be looking forward to getting even back to a few lessons, Sandra. It's been a while from everyone done it.
Well, that's it. Aside from obviously people want to go to the gigs and the concerts and the dances, but even from a social aspect, the social dance scene in Ireland, take away the concerts and the dances, but the actual lessons in Ireland was such a big social thing. And people would go to the dance lessons every Wednesday night or every Friday night, and that was their thing. Even if people know how to dance already, sometimes they go to these classes just because it is a social thing and it's a bit of fun. And I know a lot of people have definitely missed that. And then we've no word down here in the south yet as to when adults can get back dancing. The kids are allowed, underage are allowed outdoors. So we're waiting to see what the story is with the adults. But I already have a few badgering me about when and where and what, which is good. It's great. It's great to know that they're still interested.
That's brilliant. That's great. And as I said, Sandra, you're doing so many other things as well. And I suppose even with making your cards, you want to tell everyone about that as well.
I know. Look, when someone says, "What do you do?" like when you're making conversation with someone or you're meeting someone for the first time, and you'll naturally go, "What do you do?" or what's your work?" or whatever. I'm just like, what will I say? Like, I hate just sitting around. I have to be doing something. So if it's not the dancing, I'm crafting and making my cards and my handmade card business. And actually, at the moment, I'm making my save the date for my wedding. So Shauna, you can be expecting one of them in the post.
Yes, I know some of the people watching might know that you recently got engaged. So yeah, big congratulations.
Show off the bit of bling. Yeah, so I'm making my save the dates, even though the wedding's off for 2.5 years. I am making my save the dates, so you'll be getting one of them in the post. But yeah, I love my crafting and making, and that was great during COVID because so I was a full-time dance teacher, so going from no dance, and then I was always crafting away. So that kept me going, thank God. So that's like my other little baby is my little craft business, and I go to a farmer's market actually every Saturday in just outside Tubbacurry in County Sligo, and I'm there since August. So it's lovely on a Saturday morning to head off and sell my wares and to be out and about and normality.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it is. It's great to be just doing something. I know myself, it's just filling the time and even going out for walks and everything just to get out in the fresh air. It just sometimes clears your head every day when you're not, doing your usual routine of what you would have been doing before the pandemic hit. So yeah, no, it is. It's great that you actually have got so many things to be involved in to keep you going.
Yeah, look, and the podcast was always in the back of my head as well. Even before COVID, I actually came up with the idea back in November 2019, and I set up the Facebook page, but I never actually pursued it just because I had too much going on. So then when obviously COVID hit, I was like, well, what else am I at? I might as well do it now. And a year later, but this is our 19th episode, so we have one more to go, and then that will be 20 episodes done and dusted. And you were the first one. You were the one I messaged and said, any chance?
Hey.
And that was it. So yeah, it all kicked off with you.
I know, I'm so delighted. Like, as I said, that was the first probably podcast I've ever done. By yourself and Alan Williams, another great friend of mine, actually from Sligo, who had interviewed me before as well. Big hello to Alan. Had interviewed me for one, and it's just great to actually get to speak to someone, even if it is virtual like this. It's just great to actually see a familiar face and get to have a chat, you know.
And it's even just, obviously the chatting is a great thing, but it's even just having a proper conversation with someone. Take COVID out of it altogether, but just to sit down. And I know obviously right now it's different for me and you because we're friends anyway and we're talking most days. But before, when we done our first interview, we were still getting to know each other. I feel like you don't get to know people like that anymore. As I said, take COVID out
Yeah,
of it, but you don't ever sit down and thrash things out and have a right good chat. And especially like you know yourself from interviewing people, interviews are so short and snappy. Tell us about your single and tell us about your new album and where are you at the weekend. Okay, thanks a million, goodbye. I've done them, you've done them, but what do you get out of them? Me and you would probably get roughly the same interview out of, if we
so
interview the same person,
yeah.
there would not be a huge difference. And that's no disrespect to me or you, but the reality is there wouldn't be a whole lot in the
I
difference.
know this is actually a nicer way of getting to know someone a little bit more as well, you know, because from interviewing some people, you know, I know that it can be short and sweet. I've done so many interviews in my time. I've probably interviewed all the singers and artists, you know, taking myself out of it. You know, I've interviewed so many artists here in Ireland and Nashville. When I was over in Nashville, I got to interview as well. So like it's short and sweet. Maybe you'd only have like a quick interview, but you never get to actually sit down and have a conversation. It's actually a lot nicer to actually do this, I think. I agree with you there, Sandra. It's actually a lot nicer to get to know the person a wee bit more about their background without doing an interview and that's it, you know? So
And I suppose you get the best of both worlds because obviously as a performer, people interview you, but then you get to interview them.
yeah,
Would you ever like pick up on things like, would you ever think, oh God, that was an awful interview. Why did they ask that? Like, would you ever look at it from an interviewer and go, oh God, that wasn't like, do you ever have these little, I wouldn't have said that now, or I wouldn't have done it that way?
well, I feel like I've done a lot of interviews and interviewed obviously as well, but I think every interview is different, you know. And I suppose for me, like I've done a few. I think when I was starting out my career, I was actually more nervous of doing interviews then. I wasn't used to it. And now that I've had the experience, it just flows for me that I actually really enjoy doing interviews. I prefer actually doing the interview, you know, even with Shauna's Country, when my show started out on Spotlight TV, like it was just, my show kind of was unique in a sense that I was out at the festivals. A lot more of the other shows were done just in the studio. Whereas with me, I actually went out with Wallace Media. Shane Wallace was my producer at the time. And we went out and we went around the country. So we got to go to all the festivals, Cowboys and Heroes, you name it. We were at all the festivals, both in England and here. And it was just great to get the chance to, you know, hands-on, be out in, I suppose that made my show a little bit different. And, you know, like as I said, I love interviewing people. You know, sometimes I'm a wee bit more nervous when it's me being asked the questions, but I suppose I'm used to it now. But when I started out in my career, I was a bit nervous at the start, but I think that's just natural. You know?
Yeah, and I've seen one of your first interviews, not interviews, I've seen one of your first openings to Shauna's Country, and I don't know, do you know the one I'm on about?
I don't know if it was Jimmy Buckley or Patrick Feeney. It was probably, I think the first one I ever done would have been about over 5 years ago now. It could have been probably the Four Seasons Hotel in Monaghan. Maybe it's that one. I'm not sure, but I know that it was daunting for me. Like especially when I done the interviews, then Sandra, it was actually in the middle of a gig, like on a dance floor with people jiving around me, the band playing, the music going, and it was just kind of like, you know, trying to interview a singer on top of the loud noise. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not used to all this. But it was a whirlwind how much I really got to know that scene and got to do it and loved it after. So I was doing it for quite a while after that, where I was out and about. But yeah, my first one, I was so nervous. If you've seen it, you'll understand.
Well, I was even thinking of you showed me when I was up with you a few weeks ago, your opening to Shauna's Country at Cowboys and Heroes, and you
Oh,
had to do you know the one I'm on about now?
I do. Oh goodness, on the top of a horse.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes. Like, I mean, that's what I mean. I was in position, like, I was put in locations and, things I'd never done. Like, imagine on top of a horse doing a link, like, and the horse nearly moving, and me never really done any horse riding or anything. So, yeah, like scenarios like that where I was just kind of like threw in at the deep end. But it was probably the best thing I ever done, because I've built so many friends and contacts through doing it, and through the festivals as well, getting to meet so many people. But yeah, that's just one scenario that I was on a whole interview, and it was just really weird to do that, but was great at the same time.
Yeah, and you can look back and have a little giggle at it as well, because I know you showed it to me all right, and I was just like, wow, that is. And the funny thing is, you probably wouldn't do that now. Not because just because you've kind of your style has developed, and I suppose
Oh yeah,
there's other ways of doing it.
absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong, I've obviously been on a horse since then, but I suppose that was probably my first time ever being on a horse, like, and imagine having a microphone and a camera crew. Like, it was just kind of like, whoa, this is just all new to me. But and I suppose it's never mind not being nervous of the interview, or if like doing the link for the show. It was more if the horse actually going to move. I was like, oh my God, am I going to fall off? But no, as I said, I was well taken care of, like, even with everyone around, but yeah, that's what I mean. It's just, now I don't know if I'd do it. I probably would have more confidence doing it, but back then, my God, they just threw me in. Anytime there was an opportunity, I just went for it, and I'm glad I did, because it made the show so successful. And I think back to saying that, with my show being out and about, I was very lucky that I got invited to the Irish World Awards in London, back in 2019. Now, it was Paddy Cowan, who sadly passed away. He was the founder of the Irish World newspaper in London, and he became a great friend of mine. And the whole, obviously, organization there, the Irish World, invited me over to perform at their awards night. And I was actually presented with TV Presenter of the Year by Mary Kennedy from RTE. So it was just unbelievable, the support I got, and people voting for me to get TV Presenter of the Year. So yeah, myself, Nathan Carter, Foster and Allen, so many singers, like, were there performing on the night as well, and people involved in sports and news. It was just great to meet so many people, and yeah, I was very lucky to get an award through it all as well. So yeah.
That's it's a lovely story, and the one of many awards as well. I've been in your house. I've seen the setup, the old and the new, and all that kind of thing. But no, and I suppose we're obviously only skimming the surface here with regards more, I suppose, recent things with you. But for anyone who's listening and they want to know more about you, obviously they can go back and listen to episode 1 of the podcast, way back to series 1, episode 1, and there I go through kind of how Shauna got into music, all the background, all that kind of thing. So definitely, you can go and check that out, because we're kind of we're just kind of picking up where we left off, I suppose, in a way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, one other thing I do want to bring up, and it's been, I suppose, a topic in the country music scene, well, not scene, I suppose, the social media side of things, is a lot of different artists, Facebook or Instagram pages have been hacked or lost or something gone wrong. And unfortunately, this did happen you.
It did, yeah, it actually did. I both, well, I suppose I have my Instagram page, I have Snapchat, all the fans would know. I've still got my music page. I was very blessed, Sandra, that I had 2 pages on Facebook, which was, I had a personal page, which became nearly not even a personal page. It became like a fan page as well, because I look at all my fans as friends. A lot of people would laugh at me when I said, but it's true. Like, I've made so many great friends through the music scene, and I shared nearly both everything on my music page, business page, and obviously my personal page. But it was just after around New Year's Eve, my Facebook page got hacked, and oh my God, all my photographs, everything just went, which I was so good at that and disappointed in. The only blessing through it all was that my music page, which thankfully I never lost any of my followers through that, was saved, which I owe a big thank you to Wayne Thoreaus, who looked after my music page for me. He produces my music, all my recordings. He's Ballyrose Media, so he actually thankfully had taking care of that. He was in charge of that, so I didn't lose it. But my personal page, as I said, was hacked, and I done everything I could to try and get it back. Which I still might, I don't know. I'm still in contact with emails and stuff with Facebook, trying to figure out what has happened. But yeah, it happened to me, and I know there's so many others as well that lost through Facebook or Instagram, had their page maybe declined on them or whatever, or hacked. So luckily I still have my Instagram page, but Facebook, my personal page, as I said, it was hacked. So
yeah, and I suppose it's happening to a lot of people now, not even just obviously in the country music scene, but in general in different lines of work. And to be honest, once I knew it happened to you, I went on and I like saved everything and done all that jazz, just in case, because I know other people who've been on the podcast that it happened to them. Clodagh Lawless Instagram went, David James's Instagram went only 2 weeks ago. Claudia Buckley's Instagram was hacked. I mean,
Barry Kerwin, another friend of ours.
Yes, his Facebook page went.
His Facebook page, it went as well. And I would encourage just everyone to be vigilant, just be keeping an eye on their passwords and things like that, because so many people's data now has been can be leaked these days, and through whatever happens, I don't know. I would encourage everyone just to keep an eye on their own personal data, if you know what I mean, as well, because I certainly would never want it to happen to anyone. It's just, I suppose over the years, like I had that page for so long, Sandra, and I suppose memories and everything, obviously through my show, TV show, things, pictures I had from Nashville even, or the Caribbean cruise I was on, everything just wiped. I was like, what? But luckily, obviously, I have things saved, but it's just a shame, that things like that can happen.
No, I know, and that is one thing I obviously had wanted to bring up, because it did happen to other people, and it's becoming prevalent, all right. So I must apologize as well for anyone that's watching this video, or I don't know if it's going to pick up on the audio, but I got new earpods for my birthday, Shauna, and they're killing me. They're killing me.
I actually
really sore. Yeah. So I keep fixing them. So for anyone that's watching the video, all I'm doing is fixing these earpods, and I don't know if it's going to pick up on the audio. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. But oh my god, I don't know. Now they're not they're not the Apple ones, but
AirPods, yeah.
They're not killing. They are killing me, I should say. And this is my first time wearing them for a podcast, so it's just a little side note. In case anyone's wondering, they're like my new accessory. They're like a new pair of earrings here.
New pair of earrings, yeah. No, they'll take a while too, yeah. But I know I actually got a pair through the pandemic. I've been doing so much walking and doing like different things, and it's great. You can just put in your earphones and off you go, listen to your music. It's great. So I can relate. When I first got mine, I was like, when you're not used to them, especially, I suppose if they're like obviously the Bluetooth ones that you have, Sandra. So yeah.
So I have to keep testing them out. But anyway, so that if anyone hears muffling or wonders why I'm fixing my ears, that's why. So another thing, you got away very lightly when we done the interview this time last year, because back then I did not do a quick fire round because it just hadn't come up with it yet. Whereas this year, since I started back doing the podcast in January, the quick fire round is now a feature. So this time you're not getting away lightly.
Great. I
know your dad. A special shout out to Shauna McStravock. Sean's a big fan of these quick fire rounds, isn't he?
He loves it. Yeah, he says to me, "You haven't done one yet." I said, "I hope I don't get to," because I said I don't know what she'll ask me, but he loves them. He thinks it's great. So please go easy on me. I don't know what you're going to ask, but yeah, big shout out to my dad, who will probably love this when he watches it back.
Yes, hello Sean. No, he's always very welcoming. When I come up, as is your mum. I always love coming up to you. Okay, so let's see. We'll have to see what he makes of this quick fire round. So yeah, just a few random questions, and whatever comes to mind, you shout it out.
Okay.
Okay, so quick fire round with Shauna McStravock. Shauna, who is your favorite American country music singer?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Probably female or male. I have just pick one. Pick one.
Give me a female and a male if you want.
Okay. Probably for a female, it would be Miranda Lambert, and I absolutely love her. And for a male, it would be Chris Stapleton.
Oh, good. What is your favorite song to sing?
My favorite song to sing would probably, for me, be Bright Blue Rose. Yeah.
Good on. What is your favorite local radio station?
What, sorry?
What is your favorite local radio station?
My favorite local radio station obviously would have to be Ocean FM for me. With Sligo, yeah, it would be Ocean FM because I worked for them. I have to give them a mention. But in Tyrone, I suppose Downtown Radio, Big T was a great support to me when I started out. So yeah, Downtown Radio.
It's funny, I'm just thinking we actually have, obviously you're a singer and I'm not. I'm the dancing side of things, but we both obviously worked in Ocean. We both have
Yeah,
a show on Spotlight TV. So it's funny actually the similarities there.
I know
Um
we're actually like we're getting like twins, us two. Yeah,
there we go. The dark. Did somebody say to us before though, were we sisters? Were we somewhere and
yeah.
somebody said,
Someone said it. I
I
think it
can't
was a
remember
while.
where we were.
The Cookstown or somewhere we were. You were up visiting me, and I know that I took you somewhere, and someone thought you were my sister. Yeah.
Yeah, someone definitely said it all right. I remember that. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Okay, so that was your favorite local radio station. Um, do you prefer a concert or a dance to sing at?
Um, I suppose. Oh my God, I love that. I love the dances, but I suppose more intimate concerts. It's nice to get. Obviously more appreciation for your songs when you're singing. You get that sort of one-to-one in a sense with the crowd. Whereas at a dance, it's sort of a different atmosphere. But just to answer the question, I would say concert.
Where is the best venue you've ever gigged at?
The best venue that I've ever gigged at would probably have to be, oh my God, the Nashville Nightlife Theatre. When I was over in Nashville, I got to perform, and that was absolutely brilliant. To be singing in Nashville was just a dream come true. So yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite.
And what about an Irish venue?
Irish venue, my God, I would say probably I always loved when I was growing up and obviously becoming a country singer, the Ryandale in the Moy in County Tyrone was the heart of the dances, and getting to perform actually in my home, like my home area, it was just great. So I'd say the Ryandale because it's such a great jiving venue for, obviously for the country music, it's such a popular venue. So yeah, probably the Ryandale.
Very good. What is your favorite song? Is it a jive or a waltz? Do you prefer to sing a jive or a waltz?
I prefer to sing probably a jive. I love it being lively, yeah, keeping it up.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because usually I'm very organized and I have my sheet in front of me. But I literally came straight from class, and thankfully my class was literally, where I live, literally across the road at the community centre, so I could
Yeah.
run back up. But I'm trying to remember the questions off the top of my head. I know one of them is can you dance?
Yes, I can. I love.
I can vouch for that. You can dance. Do you play any instruments?
Can I play any instruments? I can play a little bit of piano.
And one more. Tell us something we don't know about you, or we might not know about you.
I'm the only child of my family. I'm the only one. Probably
but your mum makes up for. Tell us how many. What is it? How many brothers and sisters, or how many cousins?
So oh my God, many cousins. I'd probably be here all day if I was talking to you, just how many, if I had to add them up. But yeah, I'm very lucky that I have a massive family at home in Tyrone. My mum's side, my grandmother had 18 children, and which is unbelievable. And on my dad's side, there's 7. And then my mum and dad just had me. So yeah, I suppose my mum's side made up for it. But I suppose when you add up all the cousins, I would say on both sides of the families, and obviously they have grown up and a lot of them have had kids as well. So there's become like great grandchildren, like second cousins as well to me now. So I'd say I'd have over 70 cousins, maybe. I don't know how many there would be, Sandra, but yeah, a massive family in Tyrone. So a lot of people might know that about me, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, I find it so interesting because I have no first cousins. So really? Like literally none, like none.
You can have a few of mine. You can take some.
Yeah,
of me.
I'll borrow some of yours. Yeah, Jesus, isn't it mad though? Like the difference. Like I've no first cousins, and then I have an aunt, but there was no kids around. So like, isn't it mad that yeah, and then you have God knows how many first cousins.
And I'm such, and I, I've said a massive family, and both sides of the family are very. they're both great, and they're a great support to me. I'm very blessed to have a good family behind me who support me, and both sides are very musical as well. So I suppose that's where I get that from as well, Sandra.
No,
You know,
that's absolutely brilliant. So you just about survived the quick fire round. You got a bit shaky there on one or two, did you?
I did, but that's actually, I really enjoyed that. Actually, it's something I've never actually done before.
It
So
puts you
it's
on the
good.
spot, and I bet you there'll be one or two questions that I totally forgot to ask. I'll have to look back at the sheet when I find it and see was there any. But no, that's good. And as I said, I hadn't done that with you last year because obviously it wasn't part of the podcast. But there you go. Maybe we've learned a few more little bits about you in this podcast compared to
Yeah.
the last one. But it's been so good to catch up to you. Oh, to catch up with you. And look, I know we're on a podcast here and we have to keep things short and sweet. But by God, if it wasn't, we could keep chatting now for another hour or two about everything and anything. But no, one
Okay.
thing that I am very grateful for from COVID is getting to know you better and starting a great friendship. And you've been so good to me. God, I was up with you a few weeks ago, and this I arrived into the bedroom to leave my gear down, and on the bed, I tell you, what a spread! There was a balloon, there was a hamper, there was what else? There was prosecco. Oh my God! Talk about, and this is from my engagement, by the way. It wasn't just random.
I know.
But
Well,
you were so good and so thoughtful, and I think that's another reason why you have such a great fan base as well. It's all obviously you have the talent and all that kind of thing, but to have the personality as well is great. And you've been a great friend to me and a great support. So I suppose I'm publicly thanking you for that now. So yeah, it can't be unsaid now.
You said it all. I think I'll pay you later for saying all that. No,
Yeah,
no,
there'll be another hamper on the bed next time I'm up.
there'll be two sitting for you. Yeah. No, I have to say thank you so much, Sandra, for everything as well, for having me. And obviously, I have to say I love performing at all the Jive and Junior events as well. I love all the kids and seeing all the parents, and it's great to just be involved and getting the chance to, I suppose, see everyone again is what we'll hopefully look forward to and getting back to it. But yeah, as I said, thank you so much again for your support and for being there for me as well as a friend, and obviously promoting Shauna's country and all the rest and all my music. I really appreciate it. And a big hello to Mihal as well. I'm sure he will be watching this sometime as well along the way.
If I could get him to watch one, and it's funny because he always jokes about oh, I'm going to listen to a podcast now, and then I'll say, oh, what one did you listen to? And he'll go, oh, Shauna's, and then I'll say, and what did you learn? And he'll tell me something that he already knows, like, oh, she was talking about Love Shine a Light or something like that. Now, I'm also going to give all of you a laugh because obviously I've been talking about my earpods. Well, one of the earpods has just fallen down my top. So just to throw it in there, and I don't know, should I try and get it? I've just managed to get it, and you couldn't see. So if the sound went a bit dodgy there, that is why, because the pod was gone down my top. You know, why not on a Wednesday night? Why not add a bit of spice to the podcast?
Absolutely, spice it up a bit.
Well, I tell you, this could be the first and last time that I wear these earpods for the for a podcast. And just so you know, I'm not affiliated with these earpods in any way.
No,
It's not an ad.
It's like everything, Sandra, with new technology and everything. Sure, look at us with the last Facebook Live we done. Like I was singing away, singing away into the screen, thinking everyone was watching, and it wasn't even going. It was like, I think the Wi-Fi dropped or something, and I was just like thinking to myself, oh, that was great. Everyone got to see me perform. And like 10 minutes later, I ring you and you were like, no, I didn't see that. And I was like, oh my God, everyone probably then lost halfway through has lost Shauna singing. So yeah, but it's just like everything. It's just sometimes you just need a bit of luck on your side for some of these things that we're doing, you know.
Well, I'm having no luck because the other earpod just fell out onto the floor. So I think on that note, we are going to call it a night because I tell you, my ears are killing me and they're falling everywhere and they'll be lost. I don't know where. But Shauna, it's been lovely to catch up with you on a slightly more professional level than normal. And to have you back on the podcast. As I said, you were the first guest back in 2020. So for anyone that wants to check out that podcast, you can go all the way back to episode 1. And as well as that, you can go and check Shauna out on YouTube, her Instagram, her Facebook page. It's all there. And we can hopefully stay tuned for some new music maybe soon enough. We won't say any more. We'll wait and see. Fingers crossed.
We will.
But,
yes.
But no, thank you so much, Shauna. I appreciate you coming back on to hear me talk nonsense to you, and mind yourself, and just thanks again.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandra, and a big hello to everyone. Hope to see everyone soon. Thanks, Sandra. Take care.
Thanks everybody for listening to another episode of the Country Chat podcast. We have one more episode to go coming next week, and then that's it for series 2. 20 episodes will be done. So look, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Stay safe, mind yourselves, and I will chat to you soon. Slán.